Hey everybody, I'm Invisible Katana, and today I am doing a full review and features tutorial for the CyberPowerPC Fangbook III hx6-100 gaming laptop. Now the first thing I have to note is that this laptop, if you look up other reviews, you will probably find the EVO hx6-100, which, while it's very similar, has some very similar features, it is not the same laptop. This thing came out just last year, like towards the end of last year. I believe it was announced in September and released in October, something like that. So a lot of the videos you might look up and find will probably be for the older version, and they won't have the exact same features and technically won't be the exact same laptop. So that's something I kind of have to mention right off the bat. Like if it says it's like 9 months old or something, it's not the same laptop. And I've looked up reviews. I tried to find reviews for this before I got it, and I could only find like one real review, and that was for a different laptop that was just really similar to this. So that's kind of why I'm doing this review, to have like a full review. Of course, with it being a gaming laptop, I will of course at the end of this have some, full-on gaming footage of what I think the most extensive game that I have on my laptop. So I'll of course have that. All my specs are in the description below, but I will be doing them in the video itself so that you guys can actually hear all the specific details and not some of just, the big points. I'll kind of go through like the entire list. But to start things off, just from the outside, a simple matte finish with the little red accents. I'm sure you can kind of hear that with my camera mic, because it's crazy as it is. But it's a great little matte finish. I'll try to keep it in focus as well, because I tried to do autofocus and it kind of just throws everything off. It'll focus on something really wrong and the whole thing will look blurry. So I'll be doing this manually, so I'll try to make sure I keep everything in focus as best I can. But it's a simple matte finish, black and red design. Same on the inside. I actually really like it. One great feature is definitely the matched screen, because with my other laptop, I had a completely, honestly, just a typical laptop. So really reflective, incredibly distracting if you're sitting in front of a window and then here comes, the sun, and you can't see anything except a reflection of yourself in any dark spot. It's like, oh, there's my face right there. So that doesn't happen with this, and I didn't even realize that until maybe 2 weeks ago. I was sitting at school in the same spot I always sit at, and with this laptop I could see the outline of my head, but there was no issues at all. Like you can kind of see like the reflection just a little bit of, like, even if you look where the orange is with the table and stuff, it's very blurry. You can't really get anything. So it's definitely great for that. I love it for that. Another feature that I definitely have to point out for the outside of this laptop is this little kickstand right here. This is definitely great. It's good for keeping your laptop cool. It definitely helps, of course. And for me, I had to get used to opening my laptop a different way. Like now I just do this first before I open it. But when I first got it, I would kind of just open the laptop right up, so it would kind of crunch on this a little bit, and that kind of freaked me out, like I was breaking something. But just keep that in mind if you are used to kind of holding it like this and then you just open it up, which I think everyone is, because that's kind of how we open laptops, especially if you use them a lot. But this is definitely a great little feature. One of the other little things is this tiny little divot. I don't know if it's really coming up as the switch is meant to be, but there's a tiny little switch right here, and I'm kind of keeping all my little information secret. That little switch is like a secondary auto shutoff, or manual shutoff, I should say. And if this, for whatever reason, your main power key does not work, then you can have that tiny little switch, and it's basically a replacement for this button. Like if it's not working for whatever reason, and things are just going haywire, you have a secondary switch on the bottom. And I think that's a great little feature to have, just in case any serious issues. With it being a gaming laptop, that's, I think, even more important than just a typical laptop. But definitely love that. I just spit like all over my keyboard. I just spit all over the keyboard. Actually, speaking of the keyboard, good thing to point out is that this is, I believe, 15.6 inches. So if you're used to like a 16-inch laptop, you will have to get to a slight decrease. Like the shift key is smaller, and it's kind of on both ends. Some of the other keys are a little bit smaller as well. So when you're typing, it might get a little bit different for you, and it'll be like, crap, I hit the wrong button. I still do that sometimes when I'm trying to get like some of the commas or a period in a sentence. I'll hit something extra over. So that still happens to me, not nearly as frequently. I've gotten used to it now, but that's just another little thing. And on the front here is this little, sorry about that, there's this little SD card reader, and I honestly had to go online to figure out how the heck this thing works, because honestly all you have to do is yank it out. But when I first got it, like, that was super easy because I've been doing it so much now. But when I first got it, it was really stuck in there, and it was like, I don't want to break this because I don't know if I have to push a button to, you know, it's kind of like a little thing and it pops out, or what I have to do. So I was really worried about that, so I had to go online. But basically you just stick your nail in and you pull it out. But like I said, when I was first doing it, I don't know how hard I was pulling, but it was like, I'm pulling this thing and it's not coming out. And I was like, okay, I don't want to break it, so of course I had to go online for that. On the side here, to get to some of the important stuff, you can already see the blue, 2 USB 3.0s, HDMI, Ethernet. I can't remember what the heck this is called, but I don't know if you use it anyway, but that's there. You have your fan on this side. On the other side, this is a DVD player. You can get custom orders, which odds are if you're watching this you already know that anyway, but you can get this as a Blu-ray player. It's just disguised as you know, another fan, but for mine it's just a normal DVD player. And on this side, 2 USB 2.0 ports, and then you have your headphone jack right there. Then to get back to the inside of things, up top right here you have a 720p HD webcam. That's what it said. I used it like once to kind of test it out. I guess I'll get myself in here a little bit. But I used it like a tiny bit just to test it out, and it didn't look like 720p at all to me. Honestly, it doesn't matter. As you can tell, I have an external camera. Odds are, you know, if you're getting a gaming laptop, you'll be doing an external camera anyway if you're doing like Let's Plays or whatever. But to use this, and this was another thing I had to look up online, to use this, it's actually pretty weird because it's not, it's basically not activated when you turn the laptop on. It's not like, you know, with, I guess, most laptops, you actually have to hit a button to turn this on because it counts as a completely separate device, even though it's within the laptop. So if you bring up the actual camera app on this, it won't be on. It'll say you have to connect a device or connect a camera, and you actually have to hit one of the keys down here, and it's, well, for me specifically, it's F4. And, you know, same thing, like I hit the button before and I was like, I thought that was it, but you kind of have to hold it down for a second. In my experience, it could just be my laptop. It's kind of weird, but you know, that's basically how you turn that on. It's not just like automatically on. You have to hit a button to do that. Same thing with the power button. You kind of have to hold it down. It's not like boom and it's on. You kind of have to hold it down for a tiny second. And it's a really quick startup. Of course, I'm going to have to sign in, but just to get that out of the way really quick. It's a really quick startup. It's basically exactly the same if you shut the laptop down, but that's like a complete startup from nothing. Like, it was already off. That was it. I can go straight down to Internet, you know, Explorer. I know it's once again not really in focus at all, but I don't have a connection anyway, so nothing's coming up. But you can go to it and it automatically loads right there. It's really, really fast. Of course, that can easily be slowed down based on what you choose to add to the laptop itself. Oops, I hit the DVD player. Like I said, really fast laptop. So far I've been testing it out. It's definitely great. I think it's a really good gaming laptop. I've used, like I mentioned, I kind of had to go online to find out some of the things. One thing I realized, their support thing is really weird. It has like the hours are like Pacific Standard Time, but I've been within that time frame on 2 separate occasions, and it would say that they're offline, and that kind of didn't make sense to me. So you can leave messages, and they kind of just email you, so that was fine for me. But it just seemed really weird that, you know, that was the case. Like, I know I was in that time frame. But to get to some of the specs, this has built-in Bluetooth, which is something that I've only used. I tried to use it today, and it was just, you know, it was kind of too slow for my phone to really catch up to what I was trying to get. But it has Bluetooth enabled. My CPU is the Intel Core i7-4810. The processor is 2.8 gigahertz, 6M Smart Cache, max turbo frequency, 3.8 gigahertz. I'm not super tech savvy, but basically That means it goes up to 3.8. Something I did definitely want to mention is that Intel has their own system where basically you can go in and you can easily download this. It's like the I have it right here. It's the Intel Extreme Tuning Utility. You can just go on Intel's website and type that in. I think you can type in overclocking, and you can just download this. It'll monitor CPU temperatures, how many cores are active, and you can manually tune or overclock, your CPU. So if you are, interested in that in the future, you definitely have that option from Intel itself. You can just go right on, and it's already on there. From CyberPower, I have Windows 8. One great thing with that is they send you an installation CD, which I definitely needed when I first got this, because for whatever reason I had some really major issues with C++ 2008, and I couldn't download certain things. I would like the editing program I wanted to download. I couldn't download that, which was kind of the really big reason of getting this, was so it could do stuff faster. But I couldn't do that, so I had to use the installation disk, and that really helped me out. So that's something that I would definitely advise. Even if you don't use Windows, you can kind of just get it just to have it, and if for whatever reason you do want to use it, you have that installation disk, and of course you have your project key. It also comes with a free 30-day trial from Microsoft Office 365. I didn't use that, but you easily can. Like I said, it's Windows 8.1, fairly standard. My video card is the NVIDIA GTX 860M, 4GB PCLE video. I don't know what that means, so if you know, then there you go. Those are the numbers for you. Like I said, the HD webcam is supposed to be 720p. Let's see, it has wireless combo card module included, which is just kind of extra stuff for the Bluetooth, and wireless internet, of course, so it has that. The motherboard is a mobile Intel HM87 Express chipset mainboard. I think other than that, there isn't too much that's really necessary. I have 8GB memory, DDR3 1600. I have G.Skill Ripjaws. I also have the Corsair. I believe Corsair is the CPU or GPU, or PSU. I honestly have no idea. But I have Corsair, whatever it is. I like the laptop. I have a 1TB hard drive as well, 7200 RPM. I like it. I think it's a good laptop if you're looking for a gaming laptop. Like I said, I think this is good. The sound itself says it's Supreme HD audio with THX True Studio Pro technology. So the sound is definitely great. Like, it's an unbelievable improvement compared to most other laptops, and that's great for gaming. If you aren't, odds are if you're gaming, you're most likely using a headset anyway. But even if you're not, if you're just like, watching YouTube or whatever, it has some great sound. Like, it's kind of weird how it sounds because it's actually really good. So coming off of like an average sounding laptop, it was like, this is like crazy to hear. It sounds like way louder because it almost sounds like, surround sound, but it's, it's just coming from the two little speakers. But I love the laptop. Sleek design, really fast. Like I said, I'm going to cut and I'm going to go to some actual footage. You will see real gaming footage, so that's kind of the main point. So I'm going to cut here and I'm going to get to that. Alright, so as you guys can see here, the resolution is definitely good. It's it's at 1920 by 1080, 60 hertz. That's as high as my laptop will go. I guess the laptop in general, that's as high as it'll go. Anti-aliasing is all the way up to 8xq coverage. Transparency, anti-aliasing, there are only two settings there, but it does go to the max. And as you can see, everything else, shadow quality, texture quality, the filtering, everything is at max, and it's running perfectly fine. I've played Injustice, enough. I've definitely played it enough times, and it runs really smooth. The only thing that you have to make sure you watch out for is whether or not you change certain settings. Like, if you changed it to like power saving mode or something, that'll obviously affect how the game runs. And I did that several times, and I thought it was because of my recording equipment, that it was, because I changed some settings on that it was kind of messing with the game itself. But just make sure that you have it in like normal, balanced, or high performance. I always leave mine in high performance just so that everything runs as fast as it possibly can, especially when I do editing and things like that. And like you saw, there's like a tiny little bit of a jump right there. I'm not sure exactly why that happened, and that could have actually been because of my recording equipment, but everything else does run 100%. Like everything, as you can see, like all my little crappy combos which aren't doing anything to really show off too much, but it runs fast. Textures, shadows, the movements are fluid, everything looks really nice. Like everything moves really fast, does move really fast like it's supposed to normally. The characters, they look as detailed as they possibly can, at least for, you know, the specs I have for the laptop. And, you know, it's at max, so that's about as high as it'll possibly go. But it certainly runs quick. I played it with several other games, but this is the most intensive game that I played so far. I don't have like Crisis or Battlefield, otherwise I would have, of course, shown those off because those are like the two big games to really show off. But I'm sure you can find some more. But it definitely runs very well. Super quick for this. All the other games I've played, all, you know, 60 frames per second if it actually goes that high, which, you know, on PC it normally does. Everything runs well like it's supposed to. Just, you know, make sure you're in the right setting. As long as you don't do like power saving mode, there shouldn't be any issues at all. So that's kind of the gaming portion of it, and hopefully that kind of gives you a really good idea of how fast it does actually run when you know, kind of test it out, even on some tougher games. Alright, so that is the gaming portion of the laptop. I realized that I didn't show off these three little buttons right here, so this will be the final portion of the video. You have these three short keys right here. G1, that's to basically, you know, speed up the fan and give yourself a little fan boost and cool things down if you're, you know, really doing some intense gaming for a long time, or you're possibly gaming and maybe doing some other things at the same time as well. G3 is to underclock your CPU and basically lowers your fan, so it's very similar to the power saving option that's on the you know, battery, under the battery icon. And G2, as you can see, is for the light. Now the reason I'm obviously in the dark is so you guys can really see how well it lights things up. I know it probably looks really orange, but it's actually like a nice dark red. Like I know the trackpad, I can tell, definitely just looks flat out orange on this, but it's actually really nice. It's a nice red. It, you know, as you can see, it's like pitch black on there, and then, you know, it lights it right up. Every single key is lit up very well. You know, if you tilt it a little, you can kind of see the light underneath and stuff like that. So it's got a great lighting system for if you're playing in a darker area. You know, just over time it gets a bit darker. It's really good, and like I said, you know, the trackpad lights up completely, so you can't lose, you know, the trackpad in all the darkness. It's right there, you know, in its nice little sort of rectangle, you know, figure. But it's really good. It's got a, you know, of course, like I said, nice lighting system, as you can see. And that's pretty much it. That is the laptop. I know this was a fairly long video, and the main reason for that was, sorry about that, the main reason was to basically give every detail that I can. Oh, it's like super zoomed in. The main point was to give every single detail I can. I know it's still dark, but I can't, the light switch isn't like anywhere near me, but hopefully that's enough detail for you guys to have like a full-on, you know exactly whether or not you want to get this laptop. If you guys have any questions, you can of course put them down in the comment section below. If you are for whatever reason checking this out and you already have this laptop, please put down, kind of your own little reviews in the comment section so other people can have, not just my review to go off of, but yours as well. As I mentioned before, I believe I mentioned this earlier, I'm actually doing this on like a completely separate day. There are some other videos that I do believe showed off the gaming aspects of this laptop specifically, so you can easily find those just looking under the exact same title, and you'll see some gaming videos. They aren't full reviews of the laptop, but the point of it being a gaming laptop is to see how it plays the game, so that'll kind of give you exactly what you want. One is for Tomb Raider, the other was for Skyrim, and like I said, I believe those were for this exact laptop. I could be wrong, but hopefully they are, and that kind of helps you out a little bit. But like I said, if you have any questions or comments in general, if you have your own little review you'd like to put down in the comment section below, whether it's for the laptop specifically or even if it's just for CyberPowerPC and your experience with their customer service and things like that, please do that. And of course, thanks for watching.